Hello, everyone. I'm Patty Ann Brown, and you are in the strategy room. The rivalry among GOP presidential candidates is heating up. Now Ted Cruz taking aim at John Kasich. Senator Cruz urging Governor Kasich to drop out of the race. Cruz says the Ohio governor would not even make the ballot at a contested convention, citing a rule enacted in 2012. But that rule was labeled as temporary, and Kasich says it can be waived this year. He is vowing to stay in the race, noting the candidate with the most delegates rarely wins in a contested convention. Kasich also pointing out he's way ahead of Democrat Hillary Clinton in recent polls that put the two in a hypothetical matchup. So joining us now from D.C. are Democratic strategist Chuck Rocha and Republican strategist Ron Bonjean. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Senator Cruz is citing the so-called Romney Rule, or Rule 40, enacted in 2012 to block Ron Paul from contesting Romney at the GOP convention. That rule requires a candidate to win a majority of delegates in at least 8 states during the primary in order to be placed on the convention ballot. Now, Trump has reached that threshold. Cruz is close. Governor Kasich was asked about the Romney Rule today on America's Newsroom. Let's listen.
When you're a delegate at a convention and you have a candidate who beats Hillary Clinton in the last Fox poll by 11 points, and we're going to say that that guy doesn't get considered? I mean, come on, that's not going to happen.
Well, this minimum state rule changes frequently. In 2012, as we said, it was 8 states. Before that, it was 5. It's been 3. Republican National Committee Chair Reince Priebus says so far there's not a groundswell for changing Rule 40 this year. But Ron, do you believe the rule will be changed again by the Rules Committee in Cleveland?
Well, it very well could. If it really comes down to it, it very well could. Look, if I'm Ted Cruz, I want John Kasich out of the race. He's peeling away votes and he's peeling away delegates at a time where Cruz desperately needs to try to catch up. There's no question that John Kasich is going for a contested convention here. That's the only way he can win. He has hired experts at swiping delegates, basically, if it gets into a contested convention. So I understand where Ted Cruz is going, but I also understand what John Kasich's saying. And he is leading in a head-to-head matchup. He is beating Hillary Clinton. It's just that he needs a contested convention in order to even potentially get the nomination.
Yeah. The next big Republican contest, Wisconsin. All 3 candidates are campaigning heavily there, the Badger State. A pro-Cruz super PAC has released an attack ad on John Kasich, accusing him of being bankrolled by millionaires, including George Soros. Well, that Soros claim has been proven completely false. But Chuck, nonetheless, will these ads hurt Kasich?
Well, it's the first time they've really went after him. If you want to know how good Kasich is doing, us talking about Cruz coming after him shows what's happening. And what happens on the ground in Wisconsin, it's not really a winner-take-all. It's a winner-take-all by congressional district. So Cruz's worst nightmare is a common-sense, regular Republican, run-of-the-mill, everybody likes old John Kasich, wins a couple of CDs. That's bad news. Just like John said, that's bad news for a Cruz candidacy. They don't need nothing sneaking up on them. So the super PAC, who's got plenty of unfettered money, can spend all the money they want just to kind of tap him down a little bit because they don't need him inching towards a majority in any of these CDs. And in the last poll I saw, John Kasich had increased 13% since the last poll. Just in Wisconsin. Well,
let's take a look, actually. We have the latest Quinnipiac poll in Wisconsin. Cruz leading at 40%, Trump in second at 30%, but Kasich not far behind with 21%. Still, Ron, is Cruz winning that anti-Trump vote, and what does that mean for Kasich?
Well, see, that's where you see the problem here and why Ted Cruz is going after John Kasich. If Kasich was out of the race, it's likely that Cruz would just, win Wisconsin totally no problem, and he'd probably do very well in plenty of other states here going forward. So, look, I think that John Kasich is playing it smart, and he's staying in as long as he can to try to get to a contested convention, but it's at the detriment of Ted Cruz, and no wonder Ted Cruz's super PAC is doing those type of ads to try to gin up a lot of negativism on Kasich. But look, Kasich's the governor of Ohio, right next to Wisconsin. Very popular governor in Ohio. I think people in Wisconsin see that, and he represents Wisconsin values, and I can understand why he's doing so well.
Well, and taking a look at another recent poll, the one Governor Kasich mentioned, he's beating Hillary Clinton by 11 points, according to that poll. If the goal of Republicans, Chuck, is to defeat the Democrats, should they be taking a harder look at Kasich?
Well, the numbers don't lie, and running campaigns, and I've run campaigns all over the country, specifically in Ohio. You haven't seen a Republican win the White House without going through Ohio. And John is playing that card, and he continues to play that card, and he plays the nice card. And I'm the one who have fixed this. I've worked on Capitol Hill. I've run a state, and he's been really, really nice. Even as I see reporters try to drag him down to go after somebody, he continues to be nice because at that convention that you're talking about in Cleveland, he wants to be that safe alternative. He wants to be the common sense alternative when people are tired of all the rhetoric and people talking about folks' wives and people talking about all the crazy stuff that's going on with campaign managers. They'll go, come home to me. Come home to Ohio. I'll teach that Hillary Clinton. And that's what he's banking on.
All right. Chuck and Ron, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for complete coverage of the 2016 race, go to foxnews.com. I'm Patty Ann Brown. Thanks for watching.